What did I say?
I'm still muted.
Hi everyone.
No, Nikki doesn't understand ASMR at all.
Welcome to Kids on Bikes.
No, that's awful. That is awful.
Welcome. I
Oh no.
don't really get ASMR.
No.
My understanding is it's sort of just being very close to the microphone and
You can't speak that loudly.
Lydia, how quiet do you think I get? Like, I'm not that quiet.
No, you're not.
Welcome to Kids on Bikes.
Hi everyone. Hope you're well. We're kids and actually I've never been on a bike, which I think is a real. Not me as. I don't think Nikki's never been on a bike. I mean, in this campaign of Kids on Bikes, Simon has not ridden a bike.
Listen, I said nothing. Essentially, this campaign has been mini campaign, whatever you want to call it, has been a continuous disappointment, and that's my aim.
Oh, shut up,
Tom.
No, that's my aim, to disappoint.
Shut up.
Tom, no.
So in other words, you've been a raging success.
Disappointing myself, yes.
When anyone says the word raging and it's not followed by boner, I'm just really thrown
I disappointed
off.
you.
It's just, to me, when someone says I've got a, like, this has been a raging, it's like boner. Like raging boner is immediately.
Well, we've hit the ground running.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey,
definitely
folks,
hit the ground.
Folks, welcome, and thank you so much for coming on today of all auspicious days. We know that you could be doing better stuff, like getting absolutely twatted before a football match that none of us care about.
Where's football on tonight?
It's
there may
not the World Cup; it's the other one.
It's
Cool.
one of the sport balls. But no, thank you so much for coming. Tonight we will be playing our final game of Kids
We're
on
never
Bikes.
going to play a game ever again.
We have all decided that we
What
hate.
have I been doing all this work for?
Listen, we've all decided that actually streaming's not for us. We're going to become a knitting society instead.
Yes!
So join our convent. Hey guys, before we start, tangent time.
Tangent time.
Tom's tangent time.
Tangent time. Come on, grab your
I
phone.
genuinely think that, thanks to Sweet in chat, I genuinely think that I'm like part Fae, like third generation specifically.
Why third?
Because
What do your grandparents do?
thank you for taking the bait. Basically, my granddad was found this is not a joke. My granddad was found in a cupboard in a house in Cornwall. Not the house of the mother. The mother there was not a mother who lived in that house. That he was found in a cupboard in Cornwall, and we still to this day don't know where he came from, whose parents, who.
Your grandfather a
You
changeling?
put them there. That's incredible.
Your grandfather
Right?
a changeling?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It also makes so much sense with ADHD. I have a very, very strong affinity to sort of the sea and to rivers. I
And if I
have
cut
frequently.
you with an iron blade, you bleed?
Yeah, exactly. So so third generation Fae, folks.
Wow.
It's probably just some fucker who's just gone, oh, I'm just going to go up to I'm like a Fae kind of, kind of. Anyway, welcome to Kids
That
on Bikes.
classic Faye joke of baby in the cupboard.
Baby in the cupboard.
Well, my grandmother can see the future and speak to ghosts, so we're in good company here.
Essentially, what we're saying here is we are playing our own fucking like TTRPG. Like we should be characters in a TTRPG of some sort. Is what we're saying. You can speak to ghosts.
I can
I'm
speak to ghosts.
a fucking
Ghosts
Fae.
speak to you.
Ghosts
But ghosts speak to you. But that's kind of you know.
I'm not very. It's a very one-sided
You're
relationship.
rude, actually. You're quite rude, I have to say.
I had a
Thank
thought.
you.
I thought a really fun like TV series would be the Medium Comedian. And it's just a stand-up comic who can speak to ghosts. And I just thought that'd be very funny, just like doing like someone doing a type 5 and they're just being a ghost and like
There's a ghost heckler. Ooh, you fucking suck.
Yeah. Then they have to help that person, but it's like they just really don't want to do it.
Can you heckle the whole way through their set? I love it. I'm so here for it. I will give you the money as soon as I find it. Okay. So today,
Yes.
on this most auspicious of days, we are going to be playing Kids on Bikes.
Okay.
How did we end last session? What tell us the story so far in 5 words or less.
Full-grown men gonna shoot the boy.
Iron Boy been fucked up, yeah?
I talk little boy. Simon is currently all that stands between the full might of the American military that happens to be in Beckles and Steel Bigman.
Sorry, I genuinely actually that's really rude of me. I genuinely just full on didn't listen to that at all.
I said Simon is all that stands in between the full might of the American military that happens to be in Beckles and Steel Bigman.
Yes, a coalition of forces, you would say, I'm sure. So, what has happened? We have found ourselves in the town of Beckles. The year is 1991, and
1990. Oh, wait, what?
That's different.
Carry
That's
on.
new.
1999. Then fucking hell.
Well, that was the date you gave us last time.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I
it
was
was.
suddenly like, wait, that's a different date. And then I was like, oh, maybe you're doing like a flashback. Like,
Look, I knew it was one or the other, and I took a shot in the dark and hit nothing. The year is 1999. It is the summer of 1999, and 3 children have found themselves at the epicenter of something. These 3 children, 2 sisters, and one of the sisters' friends, found what can only be described as a steel bigman on Boney's Island, of all places, on the Common. In trying to help Steel Bigman, they planned to find a number of metallic objects for Steel Bigman to gobble up into his steel big tum, in order for him to, as he put it, or more aptly, the sister's dog put it, find his tribe. In the preceding hours, as is absolutely their right, the 3 decided to go to bed. In doing so, Steel Bigman got very hungry and started to roam. This is when I try and remember what happened last week. Simon, the friend of one of the sisters, heard from his mother's friend that they are waking up. And with this information, Simon decided to make his way towards the Common himself, or to follow Robert, the sexy American. In doing so, he decided to jump out the fucking window, which could have gone far worse than it did, as Steel Bigman serendipitously caught him and lowered him down to the ground. Simon and Steel Bigman decided to go to the Common, alerting the 2 sisters on the way, only to find that it was the setting was set up to be an ambush, and it's a trap. And in the ensuing chaos, both Simon and Steel Bigman were trapped by soldiers. Whilst this was happening, Poppy and Joanne, the two hapless sisters, got grabbed from behind, which is never fun, let's be honest, only to find that they had been grabbed by what mistakenly you thought to be a soldier, what was the strong and potentially safe arms of Jim, the owner of the kennels. This, I think, is where we continue our story. Are we all happy?
Yeah.
So, as I said, welcome back to Kids on Bikes. We are coming to the end of this story, though, well, whether the story agrees is another thing entirely. You see, stories are strange. Some stories end before they begin. Some stories begin at their ending. Stories can be changed, hidden, forgotten. Stories can be rewritten, but sometimes stories can rewrite themselves. What? Yes. Yes, no, I'm telling it. No, it's happening right now. Yes. Well, no, I can't. You told me yourself I can't change anything. I tell. No, look, I can't. I can't. The time is undocumented. The time is not important. The time is this. This is the 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Joanne and Poppy, you are grabbed from behind by the strong but firm arms of Jim. As you are dragged away from the ensuing tumultuous chaos on the common, he starts to say, "There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Come, just come with me. Come with me. You have to come with me." Do you follow him?
Yeah, I think we do, because we were going to try and hide anyway, weren't we?
Yeah, and Poppy's.
I trust Jim.
If you trust Jim, I trust you.
Can I get you both to roll grit checks at 12?
Oh, Tom.
That's not going to be. That's a 5.
Joanne fails.
3.
Poppy fails. As you turn around, you hear the scream of Simon behind you. "Let go! Let go! Let go of me! Let go!" And your knees begin to quake. You're rooted to the spot. Jim turns to you, already ambling towards the kennels, turns to you and says, "What are you waiting for? You have to come with me now. Please."
Poppy.
But Simon, we have to help him.
There's nothing you can do for him right now. The best thing we can do is get you two to safety. Please, it depends on it. Please, we have to. And
I
with
look
that,
to Poppy and I say, we might be able to make an army of dogs.
Jim looks at you, goes to refute your slightly ridiculous claim, and shakes his head, and goes, "There's no time. Come on," and starts walking, stooped to walk back towards his ramshackle house, part caged kennels, part farmhouse, part barn, part shed, and he starts to walk over. And as he does so, he cocks the shotgun over his arm. And takes out two of the two shells that reside there, and he kind of crab walks towards his house, as the sort of screams of Simon behind you start to dim and muffle. Simon, as you are standing with Steel Bigman, trapped in what looks to be quite old-fashioned, actually, hempen rope netting that has been fired from this helicopter. You hear the sounds of many feet trampling behind you, coming closer, and as Steel Bigman turns its head to look at you and lets out the final, he falls down onto his front, and the rope netting comes down, encompassing his body entirely. As that happens, you are pushed forcibly down to the ground on your stomach. Your arms are forcibly dragged behind your back, and you can feel what feels to be a plastic cord tied around your hands behind you. You are then forcibly dragged and lifted up and over towards what looks to be a car or jeep of some sort. You are thrown into the back seat. The doors shut, and as they do, someone in the back seat pulls over a sack of some sort and ties it up. You are in complete darkness as you feel the car start to judder and start to move away. Would you like to do anything as this happens?
I don't think he's got the fucking minerals. I think he'd be pretty paralysed with everything that's happening. I don't think Simon would.
I will let you roll a grit check. DC 12.
My grit's a D6. I've got a 5.
Simon fails. You are paralyzed with fear as you are driven away. The two girls, Joanne and Poppy, you follow him towards the house. Though, Joanne, you are familiar with the kennels to the side of the house. You are unfamiliar with, much like any young person doing a summer job, the outside space of a building is your absolute playground, but the inside is an inner sanctum that you cannot fathom being even remotely tactile. As he opens the door to his ramshackle house, the back door, you can hear all of the dogs begin to bark raucously at the goings-on the common itself. What would you like to do?
Jim, what's going on?
There's no time. You have to come down. And as he sort of grabs as he flicks on the light inside, you can see that his house as wonderfully Jim as you can possibly imagine. There are the fixings in what appears to be a kitchen are run down, are shabby, but you can tell that each and everything works because it has been worked upon by Jim himself. You have a stove in the corner, propped up with a brick, with a slight crack running through the glass of the stove. You have a kettle on top. Wrapped handle, long since ground away, so that it's now just duct tape. You can see, whilst there are plates and glasses in the sink, you can tell that there's still a lot of care that goes into this house. And as he walks towards what looks to be a utility closet, he opens the door, and there are stairs leading down into a basement. And he looks back at the two of you and goes, "Please, you have to trust me. I know how this looks, but you have to trust me. We have to go now."
I'm going to pull Poppy close and go, "No, you got to explain first, actually. I'm not sending my sister down there." Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I've known you a long time, Jim, but I never been in your house before. My mum always said, "Don't go into people's basements. It's rude."
You see the sort of amiable face of roll me an intelligence check, or a brains check. Sorry.
Lol.
You can also choose to if you wish, Joanne. Poppy.
Thank you. I will.
5.
11.
Okay. Poppy, Joanne, you are in a state of utter protection. You are unaware of anything other than the proximity of Jim to Poppy currently. Poppy, on the other hand, looks at Jim, looks at this man that she's known from a distance all of her life, and the amiable sort of roly-poly manner of Jim has washed away, and there is steel there, and there is determination, and there is desperation in this what always appeared to be a very laid back and cheerful individual. And he looks at you, earnest eyes, sort of looking right at you, and he says, "You have to trust me."
All right, give me 1 second, and Poppy's gonna pull out. I don't she's probably got like a spare like brownies jumper or something in her bag, and she's just gonna run back outside and like throw it on the ground, like with the idea being like, if we're about to get kidnapped, someone will see.
That's a good idea. Yeah. No, I saw that in Crime Watch. That's a good idea.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry. No,
with
I know.
Fiona Bruce.
No, I know. I know. I don't have any control over that. You know that. You know I can't. As you throw down the jumper, Jim looks and sees this happen, looks you in the eye again, and kind of nods, appeased with your actions, and gestures to the stairs again.
Papa goes running down them.
Great. Joanne, what do you do?
Yeah, I pull my my dressing gown around me and tie it tight, and I walk into this fella's basement.
Great. As you both walk down the stairs, expecting to see the epitome of a scruffy man's abode, you are both shocked to see halfway down the stairs. You can see the green tint of what appears to be televisions, plastered across the far wall of what now you can see to be a metal-lined room.
What's all this stuff?
As you say that, you hear the door above shut, and a bolt go across, and Jim starts to walk down the stairs, puts the shotgun that he had on one of the side tables, and says, "It's complicated. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds." And as he says that, he goes up to one of the counters where there is what appears to be some form of long form radio. He takes the receiver, clicks the button, and says, yes, it's me. I have 2 of them. They're safe. One has been taken, and 2, I am not sure where they are. And you hear him sort of leave the sort of take his hand off the receiver. He waits for a second, and from the speakers you can hear, "Yes, I have eyes on 2. Confirmation of where 1 is taken. Over." And Jim, in a voice that you absolutely do not recognize, says, "I think he's being taken to the cargo." And you hear immediately a curse from the other end of the line, and says, and you hear, "Well, it looks like the timeline is here."
I don't understand any of this. Nothing has clicked into place. So I'm taking that crowbar back out and looking at Poppy and going, and I'm going to just thwack him on the back with a crowbar.
Yep. Roll a brawn or fight. It's up to you.
That's 17.
17.
Yeah.
Just brain the guy.
Great. As you bring this crowbar up, you hear Jim say, "I'll bring 2 if the 2 are bought. We need to converge." And you crack him on the back of the skull. You hear an almighty thud, and there is no more sound that is emitted from this man as he falls, collapses onto the table, and rolls onto the floor.
Joanne?
He was talking about giving 2 over. That's you and me. He was going to sell us or something, or give us to bad people.
We don't. He said we're safe though. He said like he's got.
He said they've got 1. I've got 2. I'm going to I'll send 2 over or whatever. That's us.
What if he was talking about other like Steel Bigman's tribe? That's what he might have had. Oh my god! And Poppy's gonna start looking around, like looking at all these like screens and just trying to find something.
As you look at the screens in front of you, you can see numerous images of parts of the town of Beccles presented on these screens. You can see the town centre where the pub is still sort of people are still ramming into the pub. You can see Rigborn Hill quiet currently, but save for a couple of kids on bikes rolling around. You can see the common from many different angles. You can see Boney's Island, and you can see the barracks out on the Ella Road, just north of your where you are. Make a brains check for me. DC 12 for me, please.
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. As you are watching from the cameras that are evidently planted around the common, you can see the removal of Steel Bigman, and I would like you to make a grit check for me, please.
Oh, what's the DC?
DC 12.
Okay. Got one shot at it.
I don't know.
I fail. That's a 7.
Can I give them my grit points at all?
At this point, I would like to remind you that if you haven't been, for failed saves, you each get an adversity token each time.
Can I give her any of my adversity tokens?
Oh yeah, that's good. I don't need them, but I'm gonna spend. I've been like saving mine up. I'm gonna spend 5 to make it 12.
Great. As you steel yourself, Poppy, you still gasp in shock as you see on one of the monitors the form of Steel Bigman, or I should rephrase, what was the form of Steel Bigman, as it is being evidently dismantled and put on flatbeds in order to be carted away. As you watch this happen, Joanne, being above the now not moving form of Jim, you hear from the radio, Agent 4? Agent 4, come in.
I'm going to go and shake him. Jim.
I will let you argue your point for something else if you so wish, but make a brains check for me. DC 7.
I mean, the only thing that I could think is grit, but I don't think it. That's brains. I'm going to need to. It needs to explode, or I need to use adversity token. What was the DC again?
7.
Fuck, I need to use all of them in order to do it. Yeah, I'll use all of them. Fuck.
Joanne, you succeed. And I should take this opportunity to thank you for reminding me of grit as you make a grit check for me, DC 10.
I'm not going to be able to do that either. 4, I fail.
Joanne, you have to fight the bile rising in your throat as you turn Jim over and see one side of his face entirely bloated and distended, as you can see quite profuse injury in his face. There is no blood, but the deformation of his face would, even with your limited medical knowledge, denote some form of brain skull fracture. Jim will not be returning.
Can I pick up the I'm like, it's just like a walkie-talkie. So I'm gonna try and respond and do my best Jim impression.
Poppy, am afraid that you are currently preoccupied by what you are seeing on the monitors as you watch.
I'm going to try and move him so Poppy can't see that I just murdered someone.
As you, Poppy, watch the transfixed, thankfully, the dismembered body of Steel Bigman being carried away. And as you watch, you see the on each of the cameras dispersed, each of the monitors dispersed around. You can. Yes. Yes, I know.
Aaron's trying to help us.
Look, we can't do anything until it's done. We'd best prepare. Yes. You know what I mean. As you watch the form of Steel Bigman being taken up Common Lane, up Grove Road, turning left up Ella Road towards what you can only surmise to be the barracks. Joanne, you successfully turn over the body of Jim, or Agent 7, in order to hide his injury from Poppy. What do the two of you want to do? You turn and look at each other as you still hear the desperate voice on the other end of the radio say, Agent 7. Agent 7.
I go to the microphone and go, I'm Agent 7 now.
Who is this? Who is this?
I just said I'm Agent 7.
Don't play games with me. Is this one of the Day sisters?
Oh, God. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to do it. I thought he was kidnapping us. He wouldn't explain. I asked him so many times.
From the other end of the line, you hear nothing for a long time. And as you're sniveling and sobs subside, you hear the voice at the other end say, my name is Agent 2. I will be there to collect you promptly. I suggest you trust one of us at the very least. We are here to help in our own way. And then you hear the distinct pop of a line going dead. Simon.
Hi.
You are taken, though you know not where, in the back of this van. You know that there is someone on the back seat next to you. You know that there is someone driving this vehicle. What would you like to do?
Do you know my mum?
You hear nothing.
My mum, she's a scientist, and sometimes she works on the army base. Do you know her?
You hear nothing.
I'm all she's got left.
You hear...
I heard you just then. Please.
Nothing.
Do you know Robert?
At that point, you hear from the from in front of you a man's voice say, "Will someone shut that kid up?" And you feel a...
I know Robert, and I reckon he's your boss.
You feel yourself be picked from where you are, pushed forcibly back against the window. As your head cracks against it, you are left to drop. And as you drop, you can hear a ringing in your ear. Sorry, Nikki. And you...
Hell, Tom, you're coming for all of us.
And stunned somewhat, but make a grit check for me.
Fucking gladly.
Oh.
DC, because I always forget, 10.
5.
Would you like to use any adversity token?
I'm saving them up, boy. I've got 10 right now.
Oh, shit.
As you
I get
fail,
2 every time I fail.
Oh, yeah, you do.
As you fail your grit check, Simon, you bounce from the seat and into the footwell of this car and are left to cry quietly to yourself. The car or vehicle continues to drive for what feels far longer, in all honesty, but make a brains check at this point, Simon.
All right. What's the DC?
DC 10.
3.
It feels like forever, Simon, that you are in the back of this car vehicle. And as you think that you are going to be in this car until you reach America itself, you feel it turn, and you feel the momentum of said car slow, and you can hear gravel underneath the tires, and then you can feel a bump as it hits what feels like a verge and continues on until it stops. You hear the men in this car, van, vehicle, exit. You hear the slams of doors. And just as you feel as though you are going to be left in this van, vehicle, car, on your own, the passenger side door opens and you are dragged forcibly out. You are dragged, half walking, half stumbling, half lifted, across what feels to be concrete, as your feet in there, as your bare feet, because you ran here from your room in your pajamas, drag across it, scraping slightly.
Got my fucking light up shoes on.
As your bare feet are dragged along the ground, scraping slightly, becoming painful as you stub your toes on hard bits of what feel like concrete. You hear a door ahead of you open, and you hear, "What the fuck is this? What do you think? What are you doing? Kidnapping children?" And from directly above you, you can hear a voice say, "Sit down, John." It's got nothing to do with you.
This is a crime.
Crime.
Make a charm check.
Fuck yeah.
DC 15.
This is what I'm good. What is it? Sorry.
15.
I can fucking do that. I've got 12 adversity tokens, mate, and I've got a D20 plus 1. Let's fucking go. They're gonna arrest themselves on the spot. I've got an 8. This is a 9. I'll spend 6 adversity tokens to succeed on calling them out on making a crime.
Just a little debrief. Just a little part in the kimono. I apologize if this slightly strange demeanor that I'm taking on is slightly discordant to what you would usually expect, and I apologize if this is not what you were expecting from a thing called Kids on Bikes. However, this is the final episode, and
let's do it.
We are in some hot water. Simon, you succeed on your charm check. You hear the voice in front of you say, "No, Sergeant, this isn't right. Please." And as you hear some steps in front of you from what you can only assume to be this man, and a slight pressure as though the person that you are being carried by is being forcibly stopped. You hear of something hard hitting flesh, and you hear a yelp of pain, and you hear the sound of a body hit the floor. And you hear the person above you say, "Take this man to the cells," as he walks you, half dragging, half carrying, through the door and into what sounds to be some form of large room.
If you kill that man, you're going to be in big trouble.
The person that is carrying you gives you a stiff shake, taking your feet from under you, and as your entire weight is given over to this man, thinking that the momentum will bring him sort of further towards you, you are sadly mistaken, as he can evidently carry your full weight. Make a brains check for me. DC 7.
What check, sorry?
Brains check, DC 7.
Brains. Oh, brains. 8. Exploded. 9 total. I'm a fucking genius.
Simon, you succeed this brains check. As you think about the weight, though not a large boy, you are still a 12-year-old boy. And the weight of your body should, even to the strongest, or even to the fittest father figure, should set them off balance. This does absolutely nothing to this person, as he continues to drag you through this room. It sounds as though you're getting close to a wall, and I say this because the clack, click, click, clack of this man's shoes, the echo is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, and as he opens the door, a door that you can hear, and throws you into a room, you for the first time catch a glimpse of this place as the bag is ruffled, and lets you see for a slight moment that you are in a hangar of sorts. you can see people bustling around this hangar. You can hear the sounds of electric tools in this hangar. And as you crane your neck before the door shuts, you can see what appear to be the bodies of multiple steel big men, each one seemingly far bigger than your own. The Day Sisters. Do you wait?
So do we wait? No, I don't. I think Poppy's freaked out.
If Poppy moves at all, I immediately move to like go in front of her. Like, if we were going, I'm going ahead of you.
All right, but what are we gonna do? Why you just? We need to.
He's fine. He's sleeping. Don't worry about him.
All right. Well, the other one said we gotta trust them. Like he seemed to like be up to something. They must know what's going on.
Right, but who's to say that they're good? Like they can't seem to. Are there any filing cabinets or anything in here that we can like pick up?
Yeah, can we look through some filing cabinets, please?
Sorry, what?
Any notebooks or filing cabinets or...
Who is this man?
Journals.
Notebooks, filing cabinets. Yes. Sorry. Make a brains check for me.
What's the DC?
DC 12.
I got a 3.
Got a 16.
I think Joanne's working really hard not to cry. She's just like, I'm a criminal now, that's it. There's no going back.
Joanne, tears welling up in your eyes. You struggle to see anything but your own failings. Poppy, looking around, you see a number of filing cabinets, a number of drawers underneath what appears to be a desk with a number of pieces of paper scattered across them. As you go looking through these files, thick with papers and diagrams and timelines and all sorts of paraphernalia of that you would ordinarily assume to be the works of a rambling man, you find what appears to be a small dossier. The dossier is labeled The Children.
Can I look through it?
As you open the dossier, you start to you start with what look to be a number of letters, heavily redacted in large black ink. And as you start flipping through, you see your face. A picture of your face, what appears to be a mugshot like those that you have seen on Crime Watch when your mum leaves it on a little bit too late. You cannot recall ever having this picture taken of you. It appears that you are the same age as you are in the picture, as you are right now, though there is none of the smile that you usually have on your face. There is not the mischievous glint. It is a picture of you looking incredibly sullenly towards the camera.
Are there any other pictures of children in here, specifically Simon or Joanne?
As you flick through, with each of these, what appear to be kind of bio cards, there is still heavily redacted script, and as you pass the first one, you see the second, and it is Joanne. You pass the next one, and it is Simon.
Can I look through and see if there's anyone else, like if there's any kids I recognise from school, or if like
you flick past the page that shows Simon, and in front of you, you see a boy that you half recognise, not as someone that you know, but as someone who has a distinct resemblance to someone who you might know. And as you flick towards the last page, you see the picture of Nathan Baker.
Pooh Baker.
Joanne, do you join your sister? Looking at these.
I don't think so, because she's the one that's good at all of that. I've never been that good at that, so I'm just thinking about how now I'm Agent 7, and I'm never going to swim now. I'm only going to be an agent. I'm going to be an assassin, maybe, or something like that.
Joanne, stop muttering about an assassin.
No, you got to get on board with this now, because
right.
I can't.
Wait, well, look, and I'm going to show her the picture of her. Do you remember this photo being taken?
No.
Look, there's this file here, and it says the children, and it's like, you're in it, I'm in it, Simon's in it, bloody Nathan Baker's in it. Like, I don't know what's going on.
And as you, Joanne, look through the pictures in this file, you see the last picture, and it is of a boy 1 year above you at school called Evan Baker. You know this boy as a rugby player and as a lover of science. He is one of the top minds of your school in science.
Right, yeah, I know this one. I never really spoke to him, though. He's kind of like one of those cool ones that's like does sport and does like work as well. I don't know, he's year above, so I don't mix with year above.
I wonder if they're like, who are these kids? Are they like clones of us or something?
As you continue to flick through the dossier, you see what appears to be a timeline with multiple sort of strings diverting from the main one. Would you like to look closer at this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make a brains roll.
I'm like standing, while she's like working it out. I've got the crowbar. I'm standing at the bottom of the stairs because someone's going to come barreling through there in a minute, and I'm going to have to, I don't know, either kill them as well or like, I don't know, get them to recruit me real quick. One of the two.
The DC was 12.
15.
Poppy, you succeed. Joanne, make a brains check for me, please. DC 7.
Oh my God. No, man, that's 2.
Joanne, you fail. At what you don't know.
I know that I'm failing. I know she feels it in her heart. She didn't know what she's failing at, but she knows she's doing it all wrong.
No, I'm getting to it. Can you leave, please? You need to make the preparations, please. Poppy, you succeed in your intelligence, in your brains check, and as you start to bring this timeline out, you can see that it is on what appears to be a ream of what appears to be fax paper. 2 things happen at once. The first is that you can see that this is a plotted timeline with specific marks in certain places and lines from those specific marks. This is the first thing that you notice. You notice a specific mark on your birthday, specifically on the day that you were born. Upon seeing this, you check for your sister's birthday. It's there. You check for Simon's birthday. It's there. There are two other marks on this timeline. You can make of those what you will. As you scan across the paper towards the end of this ream, you can see a day that has been specifically blotted in red. That day is today. That was the first thing that you noticed. The second thing, as you are looking across these pieces of paper, is that you notice a movement on one of the monitors closer to you. You notice a car. You notice a Range Rover. More importantly than the make of the car is the destination and the position, the location of the car. And this car is directly in front of the house that you are currently residing in. As the car stops, a figure gets out. And I'd like you, if you would like to let your sister know, I will allow it.
Yeah.
I will give both of you another brains check for me, this time at a 7.
16.
2.
Joanne, you are too far away and far too fixated on the sweat between your hands, your palm and the crowbar, and the shake in your knees to notice anything. However, Poppy, you notice a familiarity in the body that gets out of the car, in the way that this person moves. Evidently male. This person moves towards the house, and as you look at this person, you are sure that you recognize him. You are absolutely positive that you recognize this person, but from where and who would drive this car, you don't know. And as you think about this, you can hear the sound of footsteps above you, and you hear a knock at the door, and you hear, Poppy, Joanne, listen, it's me. It's Dad. And as soon as you think it's not Dad, you feel your memory clicks, and the gait and the mannerism of this man above, you can safely assume that this is your father.
Oh, I go running up and I let him in. Dad.
We're gonna move over to Simon again. I promise that we will get you all in one place in a second.
Nah, I've forgotten him already. Whatever. Move on.
Simon, you are sat in this room. There is not a lot of impetus. No, there is not a lot of things to take your focus. In this room. it is safe to say that you think you are going to be in this room for a long time. And though the bag is becoming loose, it is not loose. Your hands are still tied behind you. What would you like to do?
See, the issue is that we're playing a game set in 1999, and it's now 2021. Which, if I really think about it, no. One second, I need to just Google something.
Simon, as your mind races about decisions that you could make, you feel that somewhere far in the distant future, maybe you could be in a better place, but you are not sure. As you start to think about your future self, you feel the pit
We're good.
of your nose bleeding slightly.
Oof. Woof.
I think he's going to start to hum or lightly sing the song from the 1995 Power Rangers movie.
Which is?
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Someone's come along and burst our bubble. Uh-oh, And I think he's just going to gradually get slightly louder.
Uh-oh.
We're in trouble. Someone's come along and burst our bubble. Uh-oh, we're in... I don't know the lyrics to the song.
Okay. As you sing, you can hear someone becoming increasingly impatient outside, grumbling. Though you can't hear the words that this person is saying, you can hear tuts, you can hear sighs, and eventually you hear the footsteps of the person outside this room walk away, and you hear in the distance. Make a brains check, DC 5 for me.
I rolled a 4, but we're gonna make it a 5.
Cool. You hear in the distance the muffled voice of someone say, "I can't fucking deal with this kid. I need a cigarette. I need a fucking cigarette." And you can safely surmise that you are alone for just 1 second. Let me make you an offer of another brains check for me, please.
That's a 1.
Would you like to use any of your adversity tokens, Simon?
I've got 4 left.
Bearing in mind, you are looking for a DC 5.
I mean, that would get me there. Yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
And you're out. We're all running out.
As you start to move around, trying to find a way to get out of the predicament that you are in, you find a chair. From where you've been sat, you find a chair sort of to your left. As you feel around the chair, you can feel on one of the back legs, you can feel a point where it has become rusty, and the crossbar has snapped off from the rest of the chair, leaving a slightly jagged piece of metal in its stead. What would you like to do?
I would like to cut myself free.
Simon, make a grit check for me, DC 5.
DC 5. 2.
Simon, you fail. You take 2 adversity tokens.
Yeah.
And you feel the rusty protrusion dig into your hand ever so slightly, and you can feel the sharp sting and the slight drip of a bead of blood as you have hurt yourself somewhat. Simon, what would you like to do?
Can I like? I think you try it again. Like, can I try again? Can I try and cut the bag? Like,
Simon, make a grit check for me. DC 5.
3. I can use my 2 adversity tokens to make that a 5.
Simon, you succeed. Hissing through the pain, you start to saw at the restraints around your wrists, and slowly by slowly you can feel them give way, and your wrists are now free. Simon, what would you like to do?
Take the bag off my head.
The bag is now off your head. Around you in this room, you see nothing more than what looks to be a fairly plain conference room of some design. There is an overhead projector on one side of the room, pointing towards what appears to be a blank part of the wall that looks like it's made to be a projection. Above that and to the left, on the sort of perpendicular wall, you can see a what appears to be a hatch. It looks to be an air duct of some sort. Around the room, there are a number of filing cabinets. There are tables, chairs, and without a check, that is all you can see. The door behind you is the only way in or out, and though there is a glass panel in the door with wire mesh meshing through it, it is the door is otherwise fairly solid.
Well, my mum's favorite Christmas film is Die Hard, so I'm John McClane in it, and I'm getting an event.
Simon, this storyteller was depending on that fact. Simon, make a grit check for me.
I'm going to be honest, mate. You put a small film reference in front of Simon, it's happening. Can I interest you in a brawn or a flight check instead?
You can. Flight.
Cool. What's the DC?
DC is 10.
9 plus 1 is 10, baby.
9 plus 1 is 10. Simon, you succeed. You drag, in the brief moments that you think you have, you drag a filing cabinet next to the air duct. You drag a chair, a table next to the filing cabinet, and you drag a chair next to the table. And with a hop, a skip, and a jump, you are up to the air duct. You can... jostling with it slightly, you can you manage to get the grate free, and there is space, just space enough for a young boy. Simon, what would you like to do?
I'd have to crawl through the air ducts, please.
Simon, you begin to crawl through the air ducts. Simon, what can you make me a brains roll? DC 12.
Unlikely. I rolled a 6.
Simon, you start to crawl through the air duct, and though you are trying to find what you are trying to find, you don't know, but you hear the sound of muffled talking coming from your right. Simon, what would you like to do?
I would like to throw my burp distant right and then move left.
Simon.
Strong. Real strong.
You throw your burp distant right and start to move far left. You... Why did I let you have this ability? You hear from far distant right, you hear someone say, Dude, that's fucking disgusting. What? I didn't do it. What are you talking about? As you start to crawl far left. As you start to crawl far left, you hear another voice. This is a voice that you are hoping to throw a burp at once more until you hear, no, Sandra, listen to me. Sandra, what would you like to do, Simon?
Is there like a little vent I can peer down?
Yeah, Mom.
Simon, you go towards the sound of this voice, and as you do, there just so happens to be a grate that you can see that peers directly down into what you can surmise to be the room that this voice is coming from. Simon, you see before you the immaculately suited form of the man that you have known to call Robert. In what appears to be quite a plush-looking office. And as you peer, Simon, I would like you to make a flight check, DC 12, for me, please.
Flight.
Yes.
I've exploded. 13. No, 4. No, you only had the +1 once. 13.
Simon, you can surmise that you are as quiet as a mouse. This man that already you knew to be an adversary in the next room does not sound like he is. He can hear you or see you whatsoever. And as you sit and wait and listen, you hear him say into a phone, Sandra, you need to come quickly. No, I'm aware it's outside of your office hours, but that is still no reason for you. This is an emergency, Sandra. Sandra. No, Sandra, you knew what you were getting into when you took this job. No, I'm not. Sandra, your son is here.
Can I...
They hurt your son, Sandra. You have to do it.
Can I kick in the grate? I'm going to kick in the grate and say, Mommy's lying! He hurt me! Crime!
Crime!
I would like you to make a grit check for me, please.
Fucking let's go. What's the DC on this bad boy?
DC 12.
Fuck.
Farewell, Simon.
6. I've exploded.
You were fabulous.
I have 2 I can get a 12. I can get exactly a 12. Fucking let's go, Roger. 1v1 me, you cuck.
You know.
Simon, as you kick open the grate and drop to the floor, you barrel towards Robert and punch directly into his scrotum from mere inches away. And as you do so, you hear, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" And the phone is slammed down, and you are grabbed and lifted into the air. Above you, below you now, you see the bright red face of Robert. And though at every other point, his suit has been immaculately done up. At this point, the 2 top buttons are pulled and from his suit, and you can see below the neckline, you can see metal.
He's got
purely
metal décolletage.
Metal, and he looks up at you and goes, "You little shit," and his one hand releases you as the other is holding you, and he slaps you, and the world goes dark.
What was?
Fuck you all. No, I know. Do you have it ready? Good.
I swear to God, if a robot like steps into Tom's camera, I'm gonna lose my shit.
The Day Sisters.
Yep.
As you hear your father's voice through the door, Poppy runs up, unlatches the lock, and opens the door, and in front of you is your father. Your father, usually a very scruffy mechanic, currently has what appears to be a large black armored sort of chest plate. It appears to be some form of Kevlar kind of thing, not that you know. He has gloves on with padded knuckles. At his side, he has a shotgun very similar to the one that Jim had, and on his side you can see a holster carrying a handgun, and he looks down at both of you and goes, "Kids,
What's going on? Why is everyone being weird?
I'm so sorry. We were trying not to let this happen, but can I talk to you whilst we drive, please?"
I look back to Joanne.
I haven't come up the stairs. I'm trying to shrink away in a corner.
Joanne, we gotta
Joanne.
go. We got. Joanne, it's fine. Come on. It'll wake up. It'll be fine.
Where did you sleep tonight? Dad, where did you sleep tonight?
Look, there have been enough lies. I slept in the car.
Right, it's him.
Right.
I'm sorry that there have been so many kept secrets in this family for such a long time. I wish I never had to keep them, but...
Do we have evil twins?
Are you Agent 2?
9, actually. 2 asked me to come.
Oh, shit.
Hey, I'm Agent 7.
He sort of looks at you, kind of smiles a little bit and says, "Right, you are."
Well, I would
I'm
be in
afraid
number
I
2.
killed Jim. He's dead now. I got to take his place.
I know, kid. I'm sorry. Come on, get in the car. We gotta go.
All right. Can I be a number? Can I be Agent 10?
Of course you can, darling. Let's just get in the car.
Right,
Come on.
All right.
And
You're bloody Agent -1.
And he sort of beckons the 2 of you to get in the car, and he says, "I'll be just 2 minutes. Get in the car and lock the doors." And as he walks back to the house, you can see that he sort of walks back into the kitchen, and there's a moment of not being able to see anything. And as he starts to walk out, you can see that he's kind of pouring something on the...
Hey, dog's in there, Dad. What the fuck
ground.
is wrong with you?
And he's...
I'm going back in. He's fucking burning that place down. There's dogs in there.
And as you start to get out of the car, he goes, "Get back in the car. Get back in the car now. I'll set the dogs free. Get back in the car."
Well, bring them on.
And he starts to open the cages and starts to sort of shoo the dogs out. He flicks a very, very cool Zippo lighter, throws it into the house, and starts to walk towards the car. Gets into the car.
Not such a wet bag now, eh? Simon's going to hear about this.
Gets into the car, closes the door, and starts it. And as he does, "Walking on Memphis" starts to blare from the speakers.
Fucking tune.
The Cher version, not the Michael Cohen.
Yeah,
Of course.
he loves Cher.
and he reverses away from the property, 3-point turns, and starts to drive towards towards a destination unknown. Unknown.
Can I try? I want to try my walkie with Simon. Like, I think she keeps trying it every now and then. Just like, Simon, are you there?
Something was said last week, and I really want to make it true, but unfortunately, it is just not. And you get no response whatsoever. From your lap, Bartholomew looks up and says, "It's going to be okay.
Is it?
It's all going to be fine." And he kind of tilts his canine head and says, and looks down and looks up at you and says, "Truthfully, I don't really know, but it'd be a crying shame not to believe." And kind of brings his head up and gives you a snoop boop, and sort of curls up.
I cuddle him.
As your dad sort of is nervously tapping the steering wheel, he says, "Right, there's honestly, there's a lot. I can't stop him. This is what is happening. My job is to tell. My job is not to change the course. That's yours. Do something now." He looks round at you, Joanne, in the passenger seat, and says, "Right, look, it's quite difficult to explain, especially as someone who has been brought in far too late for my liking, to be honest. But there are... Have you ever heard the theory that there are multiple different timelines, different dimensions, all happening at the same time?"
What, like Suffolk?
Joanne. Yes, like Suffolk. There's a Suffolk in this timeline. There's a Suffolk in the next. There is a Suffolk in the next one after that. What I'm trying to say is... Oh, geez. You know, when we were trying to make you go to piano lessons, and there were, the chords, the lines. Each one of them,
right,
is a different version of what's happening right now, and depending on what happens in each of those lines, things will either change or be the same or be completely different in each of the timelines. Am I making sense?
Yeah. Like when you watch a film
Joanne
and then
Day.
you find it and then you hope that something different's going to happen at the end of The Wizard of Oz.
Joanne Day, I was about to make you make a brains check, but that was a wonderfully astute thing out of the minds of simpletons. Congratulations.
How dare you? Julius, how dare you?
Your father sort of looks at you for a moment, quite shocked, quite proud, and says, Right, exactly. There are... How do I put this? There are certain moments in each of those timelines, each of those realities where when you were to rewind, things do change. I was recruited because I was very close to one of those things that did change. I was very close to you two. when those things change, there are certain procedures that happen. There are certain moments that can that might have been unavoidable suddenly become avoidable. Look, far more intelligent people than me have seen it coming for a long, long time. There is a mix-up that will be happening. They call it a convergence, and at this point in the not too distant future, there is a distinct possibility that everything stops. Take it like this: the VHS tape that you are rewinding and hoping to have something change will instead once you start playing it again stop working.
The tape break inside.
The tape will break. There are certain people in each of these timelines, I can only assume, that are trying to stop that from happening.
Okay.
If we can keep you safe from anything changing, then maybe, just maybe, we can stop the tape from breaking inside the VHS. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but Daddy, they've got Simon. Is that meant to happen? Was that on the original tape, or is that something that's different?
You can see that his knuckles kind of grip the wheel slightly harder, and he says, "Right, no, it's fine. It's just, look, it's happening sooner than I wanted it to. I thought I had a few more years, but it's fine."
Are we gonna die, Daddy? Fuck!
And he looks at you, and though there are now tears in his eyes and tears spilling over onto his face, he looks at you and smiles and says, "Not if I can help it, love."
I'm really sorry we didn't come home yesterday. I know you wanted to talk to us, but I just didn't want to. I thought you were going to talk about splitting up with Mum, and I didn't want to talk about it, but I'm sorry now that I didn't do it. We got in trouble instead, and now I'm a murderer.
Love. Love, look, there are more important things at stake now. I wish I had more time with you, but...
I love you.
I love you too. Both of you. And I'm so proud of both of you for the girls that you have become and for the women that you're gonna become, because we will make it happen. All right?
I love you, Skidmark.
I think she's talking to you, Poppy.
Dad, no, I know. I was like choosing not to respond to her. My teacher said don't respond to bullies. I love you too. He
sort of continues to drive. He drives out of Common Lane. He drives out of Grove Road, left at the top of Grove Road up to Ella, and he starts to drive closer and closer to the base. Simon, over to you. Simon, your eyes open groggily to muffled sounds. Again, I'm sorry, Nikki. To the muffled sounds of voices, of namely raised voices. Those voices, as you start to get more and more, become more and more lucid, you can hear the voice of Robert, but you can also hear a voice very familiar to you, the voice of your mother. And your mother is saying, "Where is he? Robert, where is he? I need to see Simon, please." And Robert goes, I'm sorry, love. There's nothing we can do for him right now. We just need to make sure that that they are ready. We need to make sure that they're ready because there are people coming that are trying to take it away. Please,
can I talk?
And you can hear her say, "Please, as soon as I've done what you asked, please show me Simon, please." And he goes, "Of course, love, of course." You, I mean, what do you do?
Can I talk?
As you try to talk, you open your mouth or try to, and as you try to, there is a biting sensation, the sensation of duct tape clinging to your lips, and as you sort of open one eye and blearily look out into your surroundings, you can see that you're still in the room that you were left in. You have not been tied up. Thankfully.
Amazing. What I'm going to do, Tom, is I'm going to knock out a numeric pattern. Okay. I'm going to. I need to find it because I've got it. I'm going to knock out 3 times, and then I'm going to wait, and I'm going to knock twice, and then I'm going to wait, and then I'm going to knock 1 time, and then I'm going to wait for the 3 things, 2 things, 1 thing.
That's cute. That's cute as shit. Oh my god.
Shit. Very sweet. I am going to Lydia, roll me a d20. This is a brains check. The DC needs to be 14.
Me rolling a d20 for brains?
Yes. You are not rolling for you. You are rolling
sure.
for me. I simply do not have any dice next to me.
That's a 14.
That's
14. On the dice. I don't know what I might add to that, but it's a 14 on the dice.
Holy shit. Simon.
Attention, Tom.
Simon, sometimes in your life you have been called a ditherer. Sometimes in your life you have been called a nuisance. Sometimes in your life you have been told off for not concentrating enough, be it in class, be it by family members. At this point, it feels as though life has finally rewarded you for concentrating, for realizing what's best to do at any given time. As you start to tap out your numeric pattern, you hear the conversation stop. As you knock on what appears to be a coolant tube, a pipe, you can hear that the sound resounds somewhat from where you are out into the space itself, and you hear the conversation stop, and you hear Sandra, you hear your mother say, "What was that? Shut up, Robert, shut up. What was that?" And Robert is saying, what, nothing, I don't hear anything. And you tap again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. And you can hear your mother kind of rushing around the space that she is in, and you hear the sort of doors to certain rooms around the corners of this hangar opening, and you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, and you can hear her getting more and more frantic, saying, "Simon, is that you? Simon, if you can hear me, don't worry, I'm coming, Simon." And you can hear her. She gets further away and a little bit closer, and all the while Robert is saying, Sandra, you need to Sandra, please, you need to focus on what you're doing. And she says, "No, shut up! I need to find my son." And eventually, she tries the door handle of your room. You can hear it rattling. And she can't quite get in. You can only surmise that it is locked. And she says, "Open the door! Open the door, Robert! Open the door!" And he goes, "I don't want to do that, Sandra. Sandra, I'm not going to do it." And as he says that. She says, "Robert, I will not help you at all if you do not open this door right now." And as she says right now, you hear the cacophony of bullets. It's the end. Day Sisters. You drive faster and faster, slowly but surely. Your speed crescendos until it is almost terrifying to be in this car. The roads, however, are virtually silent between where you were and where you are going to be. And as your father starts to, as you above the horizon, though it is actually almost beginning to get light again, because we have gone through the entire night. It is almost time. Time does not matter. Time does not matter. And you see the first light of dawn coming above the horizon, and you can see the lights of the hangar of the first hangar of the army base just before you, and you hear your father above the roar of the engine say, "Are you both strapped in?"
I quickly get strapped in.
Okay. Hold on to something, and he veers off the road, and the enormous carapace of the Range Rover around you crashes headfirst into the fence surrounding the compound, and you leave the ground ever so slightly, coming back with a crash and a judder, and he's struggling to keep hold of the steering wheel. And as he does so, he switches off his lights and starts to drive. And you can hear of a walkie-talkie, and you hear over the walkie-talkie, you hear Agent 9, it's Agent 5. Are you here? And he goes, "Agent 5, this is Agent 9. I'm close to destination. Lights off. Give me the signal."
Agent
7. and the car starts to swerve along, and the walkie-talkie beeps again, and it says, Agent 2 in position, Agent 12 in position, Agent, and a barrage of these numbers and agents, and starts to come through, and you hear one more say, "Agent 1, we start our barrage in 3, 2, 1. Good luck." And as he says, "Good luck,"
crowbar.
as he says, "Good luck," the lights of the Range Rover switch on again, and he starts to drive headfirst towards the building, this enormous hangar. There are guards and soldiers who were ordinarily kind of like looking around to see what the sound that they were hearing was, come to get incredibly frightened, incredibly shocked, and start to quite literally run around like headless chickens, clambering for guns and trying to get behind cover. And as they do so, your dad goes, "Hold on!" and jolts the steering wheel. The Range Rover starts to turn, and he presses his foot on the brakes, puts the handbrake on, and opens the side door. He takes out the gun from its holster on his side and starts to shoot. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna get out and get stuck in if I can.
Okay.
I'm an agent now. I gotta. That's my job.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels sort of wild at this point to suggest it, but it might work. I'm a brownie. I'm always prepared. It's literally one of my feet.
Does she have a gun?
I'm pulling out a gun.
Prepared?
I want to pull out a gun.
Poppy Day.
How old is Poppy?
10.
10-year-old Poppy's going to pull the brownie, the young girl from Beckles, is going to pull a gun out of her bag.
She's always prepared.
Hello and welcome. You are watching Kids on Bikes. The session is coming to somewhat of a crescendo. The world will be ending. The time is irrelevant. The time is not known. The time is undocumented. Poppy Day, 10-year-old brownie from Beckles, through the tumultuous exit from the house of the former man named Jim, you managed to take the shotgun from the side that it was left on, and managed to snag what you can assume to be a box of shells from a shelf above, noticing and realizing what they are from a particularly fun excursion that you went on through Brownies a few years ago when like you were 7.
Except they're men.
As you start to load the first 2 shots into the chamber and cock the gun,
shells, actually.
Your father, yes, shells, thank you. Your father looks round and goes, "What the Poppy?" Still firing his gun. You look round at him and say,
"It's all right. I'm a brownie. I'm always prepared, Dad."
Everyone in their mum's got guns round here.
And with those fateful words, you start to descend upon the men, the full-grown soldiers of the barracks ahead of you. You can hear a chatter coming from your father's. Joanne, you can hear a chatter coming from your father's walkie-talkie handheld, and he over the din, he tries to listen, can't quite listen, and hands it over to you and says, "Go on, Agent 7, after you," and starts to ascend. No, not ascend. He starts to walk. He starts to walk towards.
Not now, Dad. You can't rapture now. We need you.
Starts to walk towards the hangar doors as they begin to open. We will get to that.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Poppy is like not a good shot at all. She's not shooting at anyone in particular. Like
she's 10 years old. It's a fucking shotgun. Of course not.
She's not doing anything. But yeah.
Poppy Day, 10-year-old brownie from Beckles with a shotgun. Can you make me a grit check, DC 12?
Right. What? I've got two points to spend. Oh goodness.
Thank you everyone for the raid. It's lovely to have you here while a 10-year-old little girl.
So I rolled a 10. I'm going to use my last 2 adversity tokens to make it a 12.
You are rocked back by the percussive blast of this shotgun as you loose both barrels at an unsuspecting soldier. Said unsuspecting soldier was completely fine and unhurt as the percussive blast of said shotgun blasted you back. And
the shot just stayed in place.
And the shot, and the shot goes directly above the soldier's head. This, however, does terrify said soldier, and he starts to run back towards some form of
They've
cover.
got kids with guns round here.
While I'm like listening on the thing, can I just run? Is there anyone nearby that I can clobber around the head? Because this is what I'm good at.
Make a fight check for me.
Big time, and I'm
DC 10.
I can use my protective.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's a 20. Yeah, I just rolled a fucking 20, babe.
Did I explode?
Did it explode?
No, because it's 17, but I get a +3 when I'm protecting people.
As you start
That's when you want a bully on your side.
You take the handheld from your father. You hear a voice at the other end say, "Hello, is anybody out there? Please. This is Evan Baker. I'm here with my brother, Henry Baker.
Nathan?
Yeah. Henry Baker, and we need help. We need help. We're at the...
Right, Evan, you calm down now. You're all right. You're with Agent 7 now, all right?
Agent 7, who are you?
Remember that swimmer a year below? It's me. It's Joanne. I'm Agent 7.
Who?
Get on board.
Who's Joanne? And as you hear that...
That totally scans.
As you hear that... A soldier starts running towards you. He has dropped his gun because he's running towards a child and is coming and going, get down, you have to get down. There's gunfire, And as he comes close, you whack him straight between the eyes with a fucking crowbar, and he goes down.
There's so
like
much brains on this crowbar.
As you both look around, you can see a woman that you knew to be bizarrely one of the cashiers at Woolworths.
Of course. Woolworths knows how to recruit.
With a fully automatic submachine gun, with two younger people, both boys, sort of cowering behind her. She sees you and goes, looks at you, points, and goes, in there. You can't quite hear over the gunfire, but she is pointing towards the hangar as the hangar doors, the folding doors, raise, and in front of you there is a large man with...
Where did Evan say he was, or did he not say?
You have just seen Evan behind this Woolworths worker, and she sort of starts to push them towards the hangar as well. As you see this, you watch as a man appears behind the folding sort of doors of this hangar. This man is in an immaculately trimmed suit with his accolades pinned pride of place on his chest. He has close cropped hair and very, very shiny boots, and in his hand he carries what appears to be a large metal cylinder with what appears to be a barrel at the end, and he points it towards a car to your left, and squares himself up, and from this barrel comes an enormous light and a sound akin to something from a Michael Bay film, as a lance of energy beams out towards this car, and you see the entire car just explode. You see all of the people around you start to kind of cower a little bit, and everything goes silent for a second as he says, I suggest you leave. This is private property.
God, I wish we had Simon here to throw his burp. Fuck.
Simon Quinlake. You are on the other side of a locked door. As all of this happens, as the gunshots from outside bring you to slightly more to awareness, you can you bring your hand to your ear and look at it, and there does appear to be quite wet blood in the ear. Sorry, Nikki. And you can't quite hear. You can't hear an awful lot from that side. Sorry, Nikki. You walk towards the door. You can see this door has exactly the same sort of window in it, and through that window you can see your mother, panicked but relieved instantly to see you up and about. And she says, Simon, and knocking on the door, she says, Simon, my love, are you okay? Are you okay?
Robert's a robot, Mum.
What?
Robert's a robot. He's got a metal chest.
You're not making sense, my
Robert,
love. I think you've been I think you've had a slight knock on the head. It's okay.
Mum,
so long as...
Mum, I need you to listen to me. Robert is a robot and they kidnapped me.
As you say that, you can hear from the left. You can see a bright white light, and you look and you see your mother look round and say, that wasn't finished. It wasn't, Robert, it wasn't finished, and starts to bang on the door again, trying to get you out of the door.
Mum, smash the bloody window.
To no avail. She looks around looking for something to smash the window, and her eyes, you can see her eyes, or her eyesight kind of rests upon one of the broken bodies of one of the still big men. And she looks round at you and goes, I love you, Simon. I'll get you out in 2 seconds, I promise. And runs towards one of the robots. There are sort of wires hanging off the part of this robot. It looks to be a full arm, far larger than the one that Steel Bigman had. Well, the two that Steel Bigman had. And she starts to rip the wires out and starts to sort of she goes to a incredibly futuristic looking to you computer. The computer is probably about the size of 2 desks, but incredibly futuristic, incredibly small to you. And she starts sort of tapping out some keywords, and you can see from where you are, you can see the fingers of this hand start to twitch, and it starts to twitch some more, and it kind of gets itself up and starts to drag itself towards what appears to be the chest of one of these robots. And as it does, she runs over to one of the to the chest that she's sort of been working on, starts to do exactly the same, and this sort of continues, and eventually through the sort of cacophonous kind of sounds of gunfire, this enormous iron giant begins to reassemble itself.
It's a legally distinct steel big man.
Steel big man, legally distinct. It starts to walk and crawl its way up, legs still not quite attached, but attaching all the time. And it starts to sort out one of the other steel big men. There looks to be, looking around through the window, you can see about 5 or 6 heads. In fact, make a brains roll for me, please.
I think I'm really bad at this. I'm not smart, but I am funny.
I'm smart. I'm the smart one.
I'm actually the smartest.
How much your D8? 1.
Cool. As you look around this room, you can see from the other side of the room that Robert is spraying this what looks like this sort of plasma ray type thing. With gay disarray, and though I would never use my own terminology for such an asshole, and he sort of and this light is getting brighter and brighter to the point where actually it looks like the contraption that he is actually using does not stop being bright between bursts. It's getting brighter and brighter, and the metal around it is getting slightly red around the sides, and it looks like it may be not happy, essentially. Make a grit roll for me, please. Actually, make a fight roll for me, please. DC 10.
Oh, wait, a fight.
Oh.
2.
Cool. You start to hammer on your side of the door, only to have it result in a slightly bruised wrist. The Day Sisters, you start to run towards the hangar at breakneck speed, narrowly missing the beams of light. Your father is not far away from you, behind you. The Woolies worker is to the side, running at the same pace with the two boys in tow. They sort of have now spotted you, and Joanne, you can see a point of slight recognition in Evan's
I'm on the
face now.
swimming team. Swimming.
Do you know what's happening?
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I can't do it when we're running, but it's there's robots, there's the army, there's I think aliens, and
Witches.
And he looks
Sussex involved somehow.
And he looks over to one side, and you can see a man sort of running over towards you guys, and he goes 1 second, and runs at him, fully spear tackles him as he's running, and as the man goes down, he sort of takes the man's gun and kind of and just hits him in the head with it, and kind of goes and drops the gun and carries on running and goes, oh God, I don't.
We're all murderers here now. There's no going back.
This is such a weird night. And Henry behind him is the normal sneer that is usually on his face.
Henry or Nathan? I thought it was Nathan.
Sorry, it's Nathan. I apologize.
I didn't know how many brothers there were.
No, it is Nathan. Yeah, and Henry is the one, but he wasn't actually chosen. So no, Nathan is running, and the normal sneer on his face is not there anymore. He looks at you with sheer terror in his eyes and goes, "What's happening? I don't know."
I don't know. None of us know what's happening. We just got to save Simon, all right?
Okay. And as you start to run towards the hangar, you can both see Nathan sort of he looks over towards the hangar, and immediately he stops in his track, and his eyes go even wider than they were prior. And
what is it?
No, I know. You need to get it ready. You do. You actually need to get it ready. It's nothing to do with me. You have to be ready for it, okay? Please. Jesus. And so there's just this absolute horror in his face as you look around to see what he's looking at, and there are, in the space of this hangar, 4 fully assembled steel bigmen with a 5th getting ready to be sort of brought up. And as you see this, your dad goes, "Oh Christ."
Wait,
Right, it's coming way sooner than I thought. Okay, girls, you need to go. You need to go into into the hangar. The those things are not your enemies. They will know what to do.
Oh, we
Trust
know.
them.
all right.
Yeah, Bartholomew can talk to them. Did you know that?
Bartholomew talks to them now.
Bartholomew at your side is sprinting along, and she goes, and he goes, they're telling me, oh, okay, girls, you have to trust me, okay?
All right.
Always.
I always trust you, Bartholomew.
And your dad sort of stops where he is, and he says, and Bartholomew says, and I'm terribly sorry to do this, but say goodbye to your father.
What?
Just do it now. There's no time to explain. Please, just say goodbye. Tell him you love him. And he sort of looks at both of you, looks up at both of you, and looks around and makes sure that the coast is clear. And your father, though you can tell he cannot hear what Bartholomew has said, he has stopped and is looking up at the robots with tears in his eyes, and he looks over towards Robert. You could see him visibly kind of level himself, and he looks over at you two, kneels down, and says, "Right, now you both need to be brave, okay? I can't go with you where you're going, but you will always know that regardless of who you're taken to or what they're like, you will always have my love. You know that, don't you?"
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too. And he kind of gives you both incredibly tight hugs and says, and listen, always remember that you're sisters. You have yourselves. That's all you got in this world. You need to make sure that you've got each other's back, okay?
All right.
Okay. And he sort of gives both of you, each of you, a sort of very firm kiss on the forehead, and takes one last hug and looks towards Robert, who is now sort of parallel to you in the doorway to the hangar. The Woolworths worker starts to. You can see that she's been having a conversation with the two boys as well, and she looks over at your father and gives him a nod and levels her gun towards the figure that is Robert. The device in his hands is glowing bright red now, to the point where it feels like you can feel the heat coming off it, even from sort of 10 meters away that you are currently. And he goes, "Now go, girls, go. You have to go now." And you watch as Robert snarls and brings up the cannon towards where you all are, and the woman, the Woolworths employee, brings up her gun, goes to shoot, but too late, as a sizzling blast goes reaches past you, behind you, and you can feel the air itself burn as it rushes past you, as she doesn't even have a moment to scream as she is incinerated. Your father starts to run directly towards Robert and takes him round the chest in a bear hug, wrestles him to the floor and gives him a punch directly into his face before he's thrown off. And he goes, "Go now!" And Nathan,
I don't want to see that.
Nathan and Evan are already behind you or in front of you as they start running as well, evidently having been told the same information. Simon, you watch this happen. You watch Robert bring up the cannon, and for a terrifying moment, you think that your friends are going to be in the firing line, but you can see that they are just missed, and instead a poor unsuspecting NPC whose name we do not know is absolutely fucked.
Jan, for God's sake, respect Jan.
From the left, you can see your mother sort of shouting up at one of the giants, and you can just about hear her say, I'm sorry, I didn't know, but please, my son is in there, and he's we're all in danger. We are all in danger because of that." And you can see this large steel bigman sort of looking down. This steel bigman does not have the energy of the steel bigman that you know, the much smaller steel bigman, and it is just sort of staring down coldly. You can see the seventh body of the steel bigmans is currently being assembled by the other steel bigman. This steel bigman is not as steel bigman as the other steel bigmen. You can tell that this is your steel bigman, and he looks up. He looks down at Sandra, looks up at the steel bigman, looks over towards where she is pointing, and you can see the small radar, the small antenna poke up, and it starts to beep quite agitatedly. The steel bigman standing up, his antenna pops up and starts to beat, and you can see that they're kind of beating kind of out of time. So one goes, and then the other, and then the other, and the big steel bigman looks over at the door and starts to walk over. And I mean, what do you do?
I assume he's going to open the door, so I stand back a bit.
Thank you for saying that, for assuming that. He walks over to the door and kind of digs his enormous fingers into the sort of surroundings of the door, and they break through the sort of corrugated iron and ply of the makeshift walls in this hangar, pull out the door itself, and you are free to run in. What would you like to do first and foremost?
I would like to run in, and in the small moment of quiet, I want to turn around and I want to throw not a burp, but I want to blow a fart raspberry into my hand and make it sound like it's coming from where Robert is.
Here we go.
This is my ear, but yeah.
The ultimate Pog turn. You blow this fart. It is the most outrageous fart sound that you have ever heard in your life. And for a split second, you see as Robert has taken advantage of the situation. The day, Papa Day is sort of on the floor, trying to get up, and he kicks him. And Robert kicks Poppy and Joanne's dad back to the ground, brings up his plasma cannon, and as you go to fart, he looks round at his own asshole, and looks up at you and goes, "Fucking!" And as he says that, you can see a spray of red, sort of plume out from above him, as looking at him from a prone position. The Joanne and Poppy's father has.
Everyone, Robert farted himself to death.
Shame Silver died.
As Robert sort of totters on his legs, and eventually sort of falls to the ground, you can see that next to him the plasma cannon, the large sort of vestibule, is just growing. It looks like it's growing hotter and hotter and hotter. And as you run out of the room, your mum gives you a big old hug, and it presses really, really, really tightly, and you can feel the desperation in her. And she says, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry," and looks over towards the glowing vestibule. Make a brains check for me.
I would not like to. No.
You are more than welcome to say no.
No, I'll do it. You know.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
DC is 7.
1. Thank God.
Yeah. You whether it's that you genuinely can't tell, or whether you choose not to tell, will go down in your history as one of the big unanswered questions of your life. But she looks back at you, and she has tears visibly in her eyes. They start to well over, and they start to fall down her face, and she brushes them away quickly. Not like that, not like I just did, but because that would be weird. But and she sort of kneels down in front of you, and as she does, you can see all of the steel bigmen start to stand in what looks to be a circle, and you are sat in this circle. You just so happen to be sat in this circle with your mother, and you see from in the near distance, you see Poppy, and you see Joanne, and you see Nathan Baker, and you see another person running towards you. You see Scamp, formerly Scamp, now Bartholomew, running just ahead, and he comes over and says, "Simon, I'm very, very sorry, but the hour has come. You need to say goodbye." And as he sort of says that, you can tell that your mother can't understand, and she kneels next to you, and she says, I'm so sorry, my love, but something not very nice is about to happen. The thing that I've been working on has been used prematurely. Can you remember what prematurely means?
Yeah, it means like too early.
Yeah. And I there's no way to stop it from happening, and I'm listen. Look at me. Look directly at me. Name 3 things that you are happy about today. Or tell me 3 things that you learnt today.
I learned that I can trick people into farting. I learned that sometimes watching movies teaches you helpful things, and I learned that some people are robots.
Okay, great. And sorry, I'm just trying to get the thingy up.
2 things that made you smile.
Yes, we'll go with that. 2 things that made you no, yes, 2 things that made you laugh.
Made me laugh is when Robert thought he farted, and when I punched him in the nuts and he fell over.
And 1 thing that makes you happy.
You. Love you, Mum.
And as she gives you an enormous kiss on the head, and gives you a great big hug, and says, "I love you." Close your eyes. And do you close your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. As Poppy and Joanne, you run into the middle of these steel bigmen. and you can see them start to get brighter and brighter and brighter, and you can hear an almost imperceptible at first humming down low in the base of your stomach, and you can hear this grow and grow and grow, and Bartholomew looks up at the two of you and says, okay, now this may be strange, but I want you both to know that everything has got. They want you both to know that everything has gone according to plan, and the mission was a success. Be safe in that knowledge, okay? And I will see you soon. And he kind of like sits down and sort of just watches you both, and yeah, it's time.
Oh my god.
And everything goes white. You can all open your eyes now. Hello, Joanne, Poppy, Simon, Nathan, Evan, Bartholomew. Welcome to the middle. My name is the Storyteller. I have been watching over your respective stories. I have to say, I have to commend you, all of you. Well done. I am aware that Poppy and Joanne, your father, told you a small amount of the detail. But here in the middle, we have to monitor those. Simon, Nathan, Evan, let me briefly explain. There you are. You have been given the same information as Poppy and Joanne have. Here in the middle, we are the pastoral carers of people such as yourselves, the people who have knocked the timelines out of line. Don't worry. Just because your previous timeline is gone doesn't mean that you cannot find a new home in a new one. We have some pamphlets to give out to you if you need any more information. We can give them to you in a pack on your way out. I'm terribly sorry. We don't have an awful lot of time to spare. Such is our situation here. However, if you can follow me down the corridor, I will show you to your new timelines.
Wait, no. What happened to the last timeline?
Joanne, I'm ever so sorry to tell you this, but it's gone. It is no more.
But why? They said the Steel Bigman said that we did it all right. Did we fail?
Well, you did. You did do it all right. You are all here, and you can all
Daddy's
join.
not here. Mum's not here. That Jan from Woolworths, she's not here.
Yes, perhaps this is
Joanne. They're not like us.
Look, I apologize. This job never gets easier. There are other people who you may call father, mother, friends, colleagues in the future. But know that the information and the experience that you have had never happened in the other timelines.
Are we going to remember? I don't want to forget.
Oh, you'll remember. Absolutely, you'll remember. If you let yourself. Now, please, I am terribly sorry. As I said, we do not have an enormous amount of time. We have to get you through to your new respective timelines. Follow me. And he walks, this being walks down a corridor, and you see this endless corridor in front of you. Doors to...
Excuse me, Mr. Storyteller.
Yes, yes.
Will I be her sister again?
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. Of course.
I want to be her sister again. Yeah.
Yes. You absolutely get to be the sister that you always wanted to be.
Okay, Joanne's hand.
And he continues to walk down the corridor. You hear a sort of like grating sound that sounds almost sort of discordant, completely discordant. And he looks up and says, yes, I'm on it. Thank you. And continues to walk and comes to a door and goes, okay, this is... this will be yours, Nathan, if you would like to step through. And Nathan sort of looks at you all and kind of goes, what if I don't want to? And the storyteller goes, I'm afraid that if you do not comply, your story ends here. Those are the rules of time and space, I'm afraid. I would highly suggest you move through. And he sort of like looks at you all, and tears start to roll down his face, and he goes, okay.
Who yourself, Nathan? It's all right.
And he goes, shut up, I didn't. And walks through the door, and the door disappears.
Timeline might be gone, but we all remember.
Next time, the next door that you come across is about 13 doors ahead, and he goes, next is Ethan. Nope, Evan. And he goes,
rude.
Right, hold on. You said that we were chosen, and you can't even remember my name. And he goes, and the storyteller says, "Yes, I'm sorry. There may be slight incongruencies with the different timelines. One you might be Evan, one you might be Ethan. That's
also you didn't know who I was, so all right, like easy up."
And they have like a little back and forth, and he enters the door. And next up, he comes to a door, and he goes, okay, next door is for you, Bartholomew. If you would like to walk through. And Bartholomew sort of like looks up at you, you both, and yes, thank you. Looks up at you both and kind of goes, well, it's been marvelous getting to know you both. I hope that my next Poppy and my next Joanne are just as fun as you two. And here's hoping there will be less ghosts in your house this time, hey? And he kind of does that weird human eye raise, and kind of gives you, Joanne, a lick on the face, and comes up to you, Poppy, and gives you a lick, and lick on the face. Sort of, you as you go to drop him down, he kind of looks at you and gives you a lick on the hand. Can you make a
magical lick
flight check for me?
Flight.
DC, yep, DC 8.
That's a 1.
Flight.
Oh, 2, because I get a +1.
Do you have any adversity tokens?
I don't have any left. And
Does anybody have any
I have
adversity?
3.
6.
I could give her 3.
I can give her the rest.
I am going to let you both give her enough.
Thank you.
As you feel something pressed into your hand from his mouth, and he kind of looks at you quite pointedly and backs away, and goes to go through the door, and the storyteller goes, I'm terribly sorry, but the collar will have to stay here. And Bartholomew looks up at him and goes, oh, well, that's no fun. And the collar...
Can I roll a fight on the storyteller?
Would you like to fight the storyteller?
I don't know, at this point, burn the whole fucking space-time continuum to the ground.
She's so aggressive.
I don't want to go through a different door to Poppy and Simon. I want us to have the same door, and I want Bartholomew to be there as well. I'm not ready. I'm not. I think, you know what? Fuck it. I'll kick him in the shins. I'm not doing like lethal damage. Don't make me kill someone else that like seems unnecessarily cruel. So I'm gonna kick him in the shins as they try and take the collar away and say, all right, they're just trying to do something. We're just trying to have connections with people. Bugger.
Roll your fight with DC 7 because it is a shin.
10.
10. You...
I was wearing slippers. I don't know what I'm wearing now, but I was wearing big soft slippers, so it's not going to do very much damage.
You punt towards this being, and your foot goes entirely through. His face distorts slightly, kind of glitches a bit, and he disappears. And from above, you hear a as like
done it now.
The
I'm in
lights
trouble now.
flicker in this corridor. As the lights flicker, the doorways start to kind of like flicker as well, and
we just won't go through this door.
Absolutely, fuck you, Lydia. You'll as Bartholomew, who was just about to have his collar removed, goes, I think you might have made a mistake there, but there is no time to explain. Run through that door now. All of you, run through that door now.
I grab hold of Simon's hand. I grab hold of Poppy's hand. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I fucked it again.
As you all...
Joanne is such a fucking liability.
As you all run through this door, you can feel like almost like a strange sort of almost painful sensation of like tautness in your body and compaction, compacting and sort of like pulling and stretching. And as this kind of ends, you all sort of come down onto the ground, onto concrete. And as you look up, you look around and everything is kind of how it was. You're in the hangar, all four of you that you were in. There are bodies strewn outside, both in khakis and not. The time of day is exactly the same. And as you walk through into the night, you hear and you look around, hearing the sounds of Steel Bigman. You look around, and in their place, you see people in large contraption-like steel bodies, pointing plasma cannons at you, and in front of you, another being, Steel Bigman-like being, lands, and standing up in front of you, you see this figure, and the figure says, "Well, looky here. Looks like we got some stragglers." And you look up to see the grinning face of Robert in a mech suit. As you... Fuck you, Lydia. As you start to get scared, Simon, your hands go out in front of you, and bright lights emit from your palms.
Robert's a shit name for someone pretending to be a robot, pretending to be a man anyway. It's way too obvious.
Bartholomew growls, and as he growls, he grows into the hulking figure of some form of dire wolf. Joanne, you start to kind of back away, and as you back away and put your hands up, an enormous wave of water starts to rise up in front of you. And as
is it salt water, or is it fresh?
You actually, you know what? You know for a fact that it's fresh water that you have inherently brought up from the ground, and
pulls out a gun.
And Poppy sort of looks around, sort of backs away slightly, and as she does so, bits of metal start to kind of whirl around her, and I think that's where we're going to end.
What?
Stop! What?
I like that. Ambiguous ending. And that is how you do it. Inception, you piece of shit. That was a terrible ambiguous ending.
But this was a great one. Oh my god. Thanks,
fuck.
Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom, how much did I just fuck up your ending by kicking that being in the shit?
Hey, look, I kind of half hoped that there would be an ending where you had completely fucked up about 17 timelines, and in doing so, given yourself superpowers. So fuck it, yeah, I'm fine with that.
So Lydia
that
is single-handedly. Lydia fucked up 17 timelines, and my mum's dead. So thanks, Liz.
Wait, I wanted to look at what Bartholomew gave me.
His collar.
Was it his collar? His old collar? Oh, I thought.
No, it wasn't. You fully don't know.
Okay.
It was something that you do not know what it was.
Okay,
you still have it, but I guess if we wanted to find out, we'd have to do a sort of a second mini season. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to leave it in suspense. I hope that was okay watching, everyone.
Tom, it was wonderful.
Oh, so good.
I've got to be honest. I was not sure how I was going to end it, but we ended it.
It was great. Oh my god.
And that's the main thing.
So
phenomenal. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Big round of applause for Tom.
Oh.
Congrats, guys. Congrats on not dying as well, all of you.
Yeah.
You did okay.
There was a lot of death, but we didn't die.
We didn't die.
We caused it.
We are not going to be doing Dragon Age tomorrow.
No.
And we are not going to be doing Divinity Original Sin this Sunday. In fact, this is our last stream before Charity Week. Boom, boom. So I'm just going to quickly rattle off what's happening starting Monday. Monday, we have 2 p.m. Michelle is doing an art stream on the Wicked channel with guest Top Banana Jam. We love that. And then me and Tom are going to be doing some cooking on the stream, where we're going to be cooking foods from our in-game world / Lydia's in-game world. Tom's got bugs. Tom's making bug candies with bugs in, called Tani, and I'm making a fake thing called Gempata, which is like a.
You're making it.
I'm gonna make it. It's like a
Nice.
large. It's like a large handheld like gnocchi dumpling, but filled. So I'm going to work out how that works. And then later in the evening, me and Tom are going to be playing some games with the community. We're going to play some Jackbox games. We're going to play some drawing games. You guys can play with us. Tuesday, Lydia's going to do a making a theme song stream.
We're so excited.
And later that day, we're going to be Wicked Workshop, where we're going to be making items from pop culture in D&D with art by Michelle. On Wednesday, we're going to do episode 1 of campaign 2, The Lighthouse of Aesthetos. Trailer is up on YouTube now. Check it out in the Discord or on our socials at Wicked Game RPG. On the Thursday, we're doing Dragon Age and a craft stream. Then on the Friday, we are starting 24 hours of Curse of Strahd, which means 7 p.m. BST. We are going to be starting the campaign Curse of Strahd.
What are we doing,
going to be finishing the campaign Curse of Strahd.
So excited, so terrified. It'll be great.
And then Sunday we'll be doing a Q&A and Rackham. All of this is in aid of the LGBT plus, the Norfolk LGBT plus project. You'll be able to donate, and all of the donations go towards them. When we do stuff like Wicked Workshop, you can donate to have us make a thing. When we're doing the community games, you can donate to like change and do all sort of. And when we do Curse of Strahd, you can donate to affect the game. We will have a grand total of 5 guests throughout those 24 hours. So it is a feat of scheduling. So definitely come to see. Thank you very much, Winter, for gifting bits. Thank you very much, Rudy Runes.
Thank you, Winter. That was so generous.
Thank you very much to Mr. Tomcat for gifting bits. Take a bow for following, and Poker out the game. Thank you very much for the massive raid.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Just very quickly, in terms of the charity week, we are working on some. I don't want to say stretch goals, but stretch goals, so that we can get some fun things going on for you, so that we have milestones. Also, before any of that, we have technically our last game on Rep RPG, our last PvP game. Myself and Nikki are going to be playing. That's another thing that we're going to be donating all of the. You can donate money to help the team of your choice. We have chosen to donate all of the money that we raise to our charity. They have very, very kindly said that on their last match that we were meant to be in, they will also double anything that we raise, which is incredible.
Some of our competitors have donated money, which has been
which is amazing. Our last game, if you're available, is going to be at midnight BST. Otherwise known as 7 p.m. CST for our American viewers. It will be on this Saturday. So come along, support, and if you're feeling generous, give us a little donation. That'd be really great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Love ya.